What's good, YouTube? Listen, I recently posted a video telling everybody who had a question for me to ask it in the comment section, and I would be doing video responses. Not heavily edited video responses. It's really just kind of like I do in lives on a first take basis, getting it out the way, very minimal editing, but trying to answer people's questions in the same rapid fire way we do on live. Sometimes I'm a little bit long-winded, so doing videos allows me to answer the question a little bit more in depth without rushing it like I might do in live talking to a few hundred people. With that said, someone asked me this. It said, Kev, I've been following your advice, I think. In the grocery store or Walmart, I've been pleasant and smiling and making small talk comments, not just to men, but people in general. I'm hoping to look more approachable and safe. I'm a 63-year-old black woman who has been single for a very long time. My boys are grown up, and I feel that with therapy and listening to your videos, that I can make healthy choices. I'm concerned that I may look a little desperate though. Any more advice or extra tidbits? Casey in Cleveland. Yeah, absolutely. First of all, I'm gonna probably rant here a little bit. Most of us don't go after what we want, don't do what we want, don't try what we want or attempt what we want because of fear. And in general, the fear of failure has everything to do with, outside of wasted time, the fear of how we look in failing, right? The fear of how we look in being rejected, the fear in how we look in not accomplishing our goals in front of other people, the fear of how we look being social when other people aren't willing to be social with us, being nice when other people aren't being nice to us, being vulnerable or transparent or open or honest when other people aren't reciprocating that. You say you're concerned that you might look a little desperate, and I'm assuming you mean while smiling at people in the grocery store or just being cordial with people for no reason, just giving people positive light, love, and energy. I think that we have to put this idea that other people's opinions of us mean anything, right? First of all, I don't think any woman or any man, but any woman specifically, especially a black woman, I don't think you deserve are required, to give everybody light and love and peace and joy and smiles and glitter. And I don't think that you need to be bubbly with everybody. I think that when I say be more pleasant, talk to more people, attempt to make yourself more approachable, strategically, it's good to do it with everybody because it becomes habit, and so that's positive. But you're not obligated to do that with everybody. So if that makes you feel uncomfortable or unnatural, then don't do it with everyone. Just do it with the men and the people that you think may be suitable, right? When you see a man that you think is handsome and maybe he's nice and you like his energy, then do it with him. You don't owe everybody that. Also, again, I don't care if I look desperate to people. I think that that's one thing that, we need to separate ourselves from is the idea that, we need to look a certain way, any way at all, actually, in front of strangers. Look, it's not any of my damn business what a person thinks of me at all. Like, people say shit to me all the time in the comment sections. I don't care. Even in person, like I can tell sometimes, people are making judgments about me in person, and I fit a particular demographic, so I understand that some people are going to assume certain things of me based on what I'm doing, whether I'm smiling or whether I have resting bitch face a lot of times. So a lot of times I really look a little bit menacing, and I don't mean to, and because I'm a little tall, it's like I can see people looking at me and assessing a threat level. I used to think, man, damn, I need to smile, I need to be nice, I need to look more approachable. Now I know it's none of my business. I can't take your fear of urban youth away, being an ass kisser. But also when I smile at people now, it's genuine. When I sense energy that feels good, I give it back. I'm pleasant with everybody because I'm just generally a pleasant person. But I stopped trying to make everyone around me feel safer because I might fit a particular demographic that everybody in the world seems to hate. For me, I don't concern myself with whether or not I look desperate, whether or not I look happy, whether or not I look sad, whether or not I look approachable or not to everybody. Only the people I'd like to exchange energy with. So that's one thing. If you feel desperate because you feel like you're ass kissing everybody, don't do that to everybody. Just when you see a handsome man, then be cordial around people. And that way you've kind of kept your energy and reserved it for those right moments. You've been genuine and true to yourself. or just be that way to the gentleman that you find decent, handsome, attractive, or suitable. I don't put too much stock in whether or not people think I look any kind of way. And I think that, unfortunately enough, we live our whole lives worried about looking desperate, being rejected openly, or being embarrassed by any particular thing. That's just not a concern of mine. It shouldn't be a concern to you. Man, F those people. Whoever might think you look desperate. And I think that sometimes we are our own worst critics. We are our own worst bullies. We are our own arch rivals and worst nemesis, because we give ourselves that negative voice. Oh, you look stupid. You look desperate. You should stop that. You look like an ass kisser. Like we're the people who ridicule us. Most people don't even care about us. They're not thinking about our ass. When people see you at Walmart, they're not thinking, oh my God, I've been waiting all day to see somebody being too friendly so that I can say they look desperate. That's your inner voice. That's your inner child speaking to you. In general, you have to release the idea or the attachment to the idea that rejection is the worst thing that can happen. And if somehow or another you offer good energy to somebody and they don't reciprocate it, you failed in some way. I think you've personalized what appears to be rejection in these interactions socially. And so when you don't get them back, you smile and someone doesn't smile back, you feel like, oh, man, I probably shouldn't have smiled at them. And right, you want to take your energy back, but it's too late. You already gave it away. You have this attachment to this being reciprocated to you, and I think you have to lose that attachment. That will free you and allow you to be a lot more genuine and a lot more just capable of having a baseline energy that's a lot more healthy and a lot less anticipatory for whether or not you're being rejected when you're happy or smiling or bubbly. And again, just be genuine. Don't give it to everybody. Give it to the guys that you think are attractive, or give it to the people in the energy that you find okay. Every day I talk to people, or I speak to people, or I make eye contact with someone who doesn't give it back, who ignores me. Every day I talk to, I say, hey, how are you? To any woman, a random woman, because I work at a large building with 1,000 or more employees. I might see a woman I never seen in the hallway. I might see her a bunch of times, but with COVID masks and everything, because it's a hospital, hi, how are you? I'm large urban youth, and they assume youth. I'm not that damn youthful, but they assume youth because of the gold chain, right? And I'm obviously got a uniform on, some scrubs, so it's not like I'm looking a particular way. Forgive the air conditioner coming on. I'm trying to talk louder, but I can't do no more takes, so we're gonna go on with it. But when people see me, some people are like, hey, how are you? And they give it right back. They smile. They might even make some small talk. I've looked at a lot of people directly in the eye, say, hey, how are you? Because they were staring at me, and I realized that they were assessing a threat level, and that's the only reason why they were staring at me, because they didn't speak back when I spoke directly to them, when they were looking directly at me within 5 to 10 feet of me. And so I used to be like, well, F you too then. Like in my mind, I'd be a little bit offended. Now I don't give a damn. It's like, okay, that was up. Listen, it's not my damn business what your inhibitions are, whether they be in relationship to you being prejudiced or having a prejudice, or having a fear factor in relationship to my particular demographic, or a person that looks like me, or a guy my size, or men in general. A lot of women are afraid of men in general. So when I get rejected energetically by a random woman who I'm just speaking to, just saying hi, I don't get offended. I understand. It doesn't do anything for me. I think that you need to relinquish this thing that affects you when you don't get that energy back. When you get that energy, you get that energy from a genuine place, so that you don't necessarily regret it. You don't feel like you bowed down to the area, the environment, or the people around you, but that you just gave of yourself, the positivity that you would hope to receive back from the world, the universe, the atmosphere, God. That's kind of how I feel about it. And so, not to go too long, but reserve that energy for the people who you've assessed energetically and feel like, okay, I think I want to, exchange positivity with this person. So no, being happy, being positive doesn't actually make you look desperate. It makes you look free. That is the bottom line. I've never thought of the person who was looking, vulnerable enough to speak, vulnerable enough to say hi, vulnerable enough to wave, vulnerable enough to acknowledge other human beings. I never thought, oh, they're desperate for attention. They're desperate for love. They want somebody. They want to jump somebody's bones. I've always thought, damn, I really, when I couldn't do it when I was younger, when I had that blockage, I really always thought, damn, I really wish I could do that. That's really cool that they're just so bubbly, or they're so nice. They're genuine to everyone around them. He said this cousin, he looks a little bit like Michael Clark Duncan, my cousin, and he's kind of green mileish, and he is in general the types of guy that people don't necessarily just talk to when they see him, unless they're again assessing a threat level. He can be very intimidating as well, but he's just a teddy bear, and he got saved and he was in church and he was really applying a new methodology to his life. And I watched this man hug literally every person that walked past him. I watched this man say hello and stop and talk to everybody who walked past him. This is my little cousin. He's a couple years younger than me. And I remember when he was more street and not like that. He was blocked. When he discovered the freedom to just be kind to everybody around him and be genuinely gracious to everyone around him, his popularity rose. It's just skyrocketed. His happiness rose. It skyrocketed. He learned that energy he was giving out didn't need to be reciprocated for him to be rewarded by it, and for him to still have the responsibility to be positive to everybody around him. So it appeared to be the greatest gift I've ever witnessed or observed. I was so proud of him, but I was also like, man, I need to start speaking more to people. It changed the way I approached meeting women, men, strangers, co-workers, associates, everybody. And I've been forever changed because of it, because I watched how his life changed. I seen the before and I seen the after, and I realized that just giving love and being love and light was more beneficial to him than any of those people. And when it did benefit those people, it did in a big way, because you never know, when the last time somebody got a hug or a nice word or a nice gesture or a smile or acknowledgement. A lot of people go home to a lot of loneliness. A lot of people don't feel considered or seen. So you're not actually ass kissing people. You're not actually desperate. You're giving love out. And I think that love always returns to us, despite what it might look like when somebody doesn't acknowledge when we spoke to them. So don't worry so much about being desperate. Just give love, and you'll be blessed for it later. And in the meantime, you might find somebody that you actually find attractive, who finds your energy and your intention to be loving attractive, to the world. So that's what I think about that. Sorry I went a little bit long, but follow me at KVic24 on Instagram. I hope that helps. I'll get with y'all later.